Hello, everyone, and especially still my 2 subscribers. So today I felt like playing more of a Draco's meowing, he wants to go outside, but he's not an outside cat and he doesn't realize that. So today I wanted to play more of a thinking game, just sort of um, something that kind of can just make you feel. And I stumbled upon Depression Quest. Depression Quest, it looks like it was popular right when it came out, which was about 5 years ago, and it doesn't really look like anyone has played it since. Yeah, it basically is a game where you are playing as the protagonist that is dealing with, I want to say it's probably clinical depression. The reviews on the game say that it really helps people understand what it's like to have depression, and I'm interested to see these developers' take on what depression is. So I'm excited to. Ooh, I'm excited to start playing. So there is a bit of a disclaimer just on the title page where it basically says that if you are suffering from depression, if you are having any suicidal thoughts or actions or anything like that, to probably not play this game just because they don't want to risk it triggering anybody. And I'm going to say that as well. If you do know that stuff like this triggers you, please feel free to skip over this video. Alright. Ooh, the music is already getting me. Alright. Its emotional character is probably mostly indescribable except as a sort of double bind in which any and all of the alternatives we associate with human agency, sitting or standing, doing or resting, speaking or keeping silent, living or dying, are not just unpleasant but literally horrible. By David Foster Wallace. Let's begin. It is early on a Monday morning. You are a mid-20s human being. I am. You have a significant other named Alex, who you are rather fond of, that you've been seeing exclusively for the past few months. The rest of your social circle consists of a variety of friends and acquaintances, some of whom you met at your day job, which is a little boring, but pays the rent. You'd like to be doing more with your life, as would your parents, but you're still in the process of figuring out what that means and how to go about it. You're also dealing with motivation issues and sometimes make dealing with these things difficult. You feel like this is probably your fault, and on bad days, you can feel inwardly angry and down on yourself for being lazy, but you're not quite sure how you can break out of it or how other people deal with these feelings and seem so very functional. You spend a lot of nights fixating on thinking about this, but never seem to do anything about it other than lose sleep. Why are these... Oh! You met Alex through a mutual friend a few months back. The two of you hit it off pretty well that first night, and after a series of initially awkward dates, you finally become a couple, much to your surprise and excitement. Alex is 3 months younger than you are, and is currently a student with a part-time job and broad social circle. She's also got a wide variety of interests, and oftentimes you worry that you might be too boring for her, but she's been good at trying to reassure you that she's happy with you. Your relationship consists of a lot of nights in watching Netflix, when you've both got time off work and she doesn't have classes, with the occasional social outing that she tends to have to talk you into attending. She tries to be understanding when you are in one of your moods, as she puts it, though you're starting to feel like she doesn't understand what it's like for you. That's really unfortunate. If you're dating someone that has depression, or if you are someone that has depression and your significant other is framing your mental state as just being moody, please have an open discussion with them. Actually talk about it, just because that is so detrimental. And I myself am guilty of that. I've had relationships where my significant other was depressed, and I just didn't want to deal with them when they would get in moods, so I would just leave or just not be the support that I realize now I probably should have been. Continuing on. Coupled with your reluctance to want to go to college parties, this feeds your worry for not being exciting enough for them. Let's see my social circle. Your social circle is made up of a few close friends, some of which you've known from high school, and some from jobs that you've worked. You've also made various acquaintances through reluctantly going to social events with Alex, and you keep in touch with a few friend of friends that you occasionally run into. Sorry if my camera is going back and forth. Draco's deciding that he wants to play. You also have several online friends that you talk to regularly that you feel less guarded with, possibly due to communicating from the safety of being behind a keyboard. You enjoy the low commitment of the friendship, since they don't expect very much of you other than to listen and share personal thoughts and experiences. Despite a low commitment, you feel fairly connected with those people and tend to be more honest with them than people you interact with in real life on a day-to-day basis. Online friendships are so nice because it is very much uninhibited, because you don't feel like you have to put on a front for them. You feel incredibly nervous trying to make new friends on your own, and are very good at talking yourself out of going to unfamiliar places or larger social engagements, regardless of how much you may actually want to attend. Oh, self-doubt is the killer of all things. Meeting new people stresses you out in a high degree, and this is something you wish you could work past. You admit you have a bad habit of flaking on social engagements, even with longtime friends, and are puzzled as to why some days you just can't force yourself to go see these people that you really do care about. Those that have stuck around long enough to be that close with you understand that this is a thing you sometimes do and have seemed to more or less accept it, even though they chide with you because of this trait. Oh, even though they chide you for it occasionally. Okay, I was like, that doesn't make sense. However, you've had friends in the past give up trying to maintain a friendship with you because of this trait, taking your social anxieties as a personal slight, or eventually getting tired of trying to track you down all the time. You feel incredibly guilty about this, but are not quite sure how to change. Let's see what my job is. Looks like I'm a pencil pusher. You have a day job which you feel is nothing really special. You started out receiving minimum wage, but have stayed around long enough to make enough to support yourself. The work is dull and unrewarding, and most days you feel like just about anything could do it. Just about anyone could do it. You have a hard time relating to most of your coworkers, so you mostly keep to yourself and get the work done while you're there. There are one or two people you chat with, though you wouldn't consider yourself close with them. I feel like that's actually pretty normal for a lot of people. I only roughly have one or two friends wherever I work, even if I get along well with other people. So that's nothing too serious in my opinion. A lot of days lately you've been having a really hard time getting out of bed and forcing yourself to go in. You've started to wonder how long you can keep this up. You'd really like to find another job in your field of interest, but feel like you're underqualified every time you look at online job postings. Sometimes you think about going back to school, but you'd be unsure how you'd be able to support yourself and wonder if the degree would really help in any way. I relate to that. I understand that. Let's see what my parents are like. This is always a fun one. You're one of the few people you know of whose parents never got divorced, but you do wonder if they still love each other sometimes. You have an older brother named Malcolm, who has moved across the country with his wife to work a high-paying job. Every major holiday that you see him at, you feel a bit jealous and like the lesser kid despite being genuinely happy to see him. You feel very ashamed of those feelings. I completely understand having siblings that are more successful than you and not holding that against them, but still not having it feel great, having to stand next to their achievement. So I feel you, kid. Your parents genuinely care about you, This often involves inviting you back to your childhood home for dinner, though your mother thinks you never visit quite enough. But you get the impression they don't fully understand you. They want to see you succeed and don't know why you haven't gone farther in life yet, because you're so smart and talented. Anytime you've tried to talk to them about your motivation issues, they tell you the solution is simply to work harder or want it more. Your father is generally more forgiving of your lack of a career path, while your mother seems to think you're too smart to be in the position you're in. Helicopter parents, well, especially like in this instance, it seems like it's a helicopter mother. Yeah, telling your kid that they're super smart and talented and then trying to like push them to do more is actually not a great motivator. Which is why they're even saying now that like when your child is growing up, don't tell them that they're smart and talented. Tell them that they've worked really hard. Tell them that you're proud of the achievements that they've already made. Yeah, don't put it on them that because you view them a certain way, they should be on a certain path in life. You know they love you and that they're not bad people, but you really feel like a big disappointment sometimes. Alright guys, that is where I'm going to end it for today. I did do the full playthrough all in one go, but the way that the game is structured, I feel like it would be more beneficial if I edited it all down to more easily digestible parts. The game does talk about different subjects like a relationship with your family, romantic relationships, pets, therapy, all of that stuff that goes into depression. But yes, like I said, this is where I'm going to end it for today. That way you can just get a gist of where the character is coming from and if this is going to be a series that you'd feel okay watching. For the next few Fridays, this is going to be the gameplay. All of my intros and outros are going to be done post-editing, which is why I might look differently, be wearing different clothes, sound, behave different, whatever. So if this looks interesting to you, then watch on Fridays. Feel free to like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And this is where I leave you. Bye!